Hi everyone, my name is Lina. Welcome to my channel. And if you're new here, hi, welcome. And I post a lot of home decor projects on a budget. I don't have a dollar store here. However, we do have a Chinese store, but they're not the same prices as dollar store. They're actually the same product, but on a very more expensive budget. So what I tend to do is I tend to create a lot of things using ideas that I have in my head. Sometimes I will be inspired by Pinterest or watching other YouTubers and then turning it around and making it my own. So the lot of crafts that I do, farmhouse or boho style, is to give you guys an idea of how you can get those things without spending too much money. We don't want to spend too much money. And so if you like what you see, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, join my channel, help it grow. The video technology for me is not that brilliant, as I don't go off to buy all the latest cameras and tripods and lighting and things like that, because it creates a false impression. I'm not loaded, I don't have that much money, far from it, and so I just use my phone to record things. So it's not the most beautiful of videos, but I do try my best, and I use music that's free and whatever. So it's not the best videos, but it's really to give you guys an idea of the things that I produce on a budget, and hopefully it can inspire you guys to create these things without spending too much money. So if you like what you see, hang around, watch my video, because today's craft is amazing. It's something you can transform to cabinets, any type of furniture, and it's so inexpensive, and it's on a budget, and it absolutely looks gorgeous and it looks authentic. So if you like what you see, carry on watching and don't forget to subscribe. So if you've made it past the first 3 minutes of my intro, that's the very first time I did a face-to-face intro like that. I thought it'd be something a little bit different. So I'm using some air dry clay. I used about 1.5 pack of these, but it does depend how fine you roll your clay onto your mold. You do want to leave about 1 inch. You don't want to leave it too thin, because once the air dry clay dries, it does tend to crack. So you do need to leave about 1 inch of clay on there for your mold. Here I purchased this mold. It was very inexpensive. It was €2.75, but I'm sure guys can get these molds a lot cheaper. You can also buy them on Amazon. If you don't have the money for that, you can also use lace trimmings, any type of doilies, anything like that, any cake type moldings. They're all these things are another way of creating these beautiful patterns. It does depend specifically what you're going for. So here I've just laid down the air clay onto the mold, and I'm just rolling it, and I'm going to leave about 1 inch. I shouldn't have rolled it all the way down, because I really just need half of that size for the project that I'm doing. But anyway, if you roll out your clay and you don't have enough, you can break some of it off and join it up. That's another way of doing it. But if you carry on watching the video, you can see how I transform this clay into beautiful moldings for this new project that I'm doing. So once I've rolled out the clay, you can see I'm peeling it back ever so gently. It does peel quite easily, and you want to work with the clay while it's still soft and supple. And you also want to measure where you're going to place this clay. Like me, I'm going to be using this for the back of my old IKEA chairs, which are a table set that I've had for about 19 years, and I just keep giving them a facelift. So I'm just going to trim a little bit of the excess clay, which will then make it a lot easier to trim around the pattern of the moulding. And there's two ways of doing this. You can either use a very sharp knife to go in and out of the circular bits of the pattern, or you can use a very fine pair of scissors. This is where I intend to place the mouldings, so I'm just going to measure out, and here I'm just going to trim some of the excess moulding by using a very sharp knife. This is Ginger. She's come to say hello. She's always next to me whenever I'm creating something new. She's a very curious, lovable dog. And so here I'm just using my very sharp knife to trim off the excess, and don't get rid of the excess because you might need some if it breaks off or anything like that, so just place it to one side. And here I'm just cutting it with the scissors. I'm just trying this method out. I found this a little bit more difficult, so for the second ones that I do, and the third and the fourth, I actually use a very sharp knife to just go around the edges of the lace moulding, and I think that worked a lot better than actually using the scissors. But it's entirely up to you which way you use to trim off your excess clay. Now that our beautiful pattern clay mold is ready, I'm just going to brush the back of my chair with some wood glue, or you can use white glue or any type of strong adhesive, and just brush that onto the back of your project. I'm using the back of the chairs to create this beautiful look. And then I'm just going to place my clay. Give a generous amount, because then that way the clay moves around so that you can lay it precisely where you want the moulding to go. And then you can even pat it down slightly with your hand. This is why I say leave a little bit thick clay, so it's about an inch. That way it's quite sturdy, it won't break as much, and it's easier to handle. And then just remove the excess with a very sharp knife. I'm just going to remove some of the bottom because it's overlapping slightly, and so it just forms around my chair. So this is how the first chair that I did this a day before. This is how it came out, and you can see the different colour. This is the air dry clay, still wet and fresh. The other one has been painted. You can see the colour difference. So you do want to paint them afterwards to however colour that you want. So I'm just going to continue and do the other 3 chairs. So if you carry on watching, you'll see the finished product at the end. So once I've finished all the chairs and the mouldings are stuck on, I leave them to dry overnight, and then I go back in with some white acrylic paint and furniture paint, and I'm just gonna go all over the chair and just paint these beautiful mouldings to blend in with my chair. You can distress them, you can give them some dark wax or whatever colours that you want, but for now I'm just going to paint them white, and I think it just goes beautiful with the chairs how they are. And I'm going to give you a little reveal once I've finished my painting and my chairs are completely dry. Now that my chairs are completely dry with the painting, and this is how they turned out. They look super beautiful. I love them. I don't know why I didn't think of this before. And I might actually create some other little projects using some air dry clay. I'm just gonna rack my brains and see what I come up with, because I think they look absolutely amazing, and they really transform the chairs. So if you've got some old chairs that need a little bit of an update, this is a beautiful, inexpensive project, and anybody can do this. So why don't you guys give this a go? So once again, thanks for watching my video, thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll be posting a video maybe next week, but it won't be a tutorial video, it'll be a sightseeing video, as I'm off to Madeira on Saturday and I'm going to be there for 10 days. I'm going to be helping my brother who's bought himself a little house and it needs some renovation and some a bit of a facelift, so I'm going over to give him a hand, and so I'm going to be filming some beautiful scenic views of Madeira, and I might give you a little tour of his little cottage in Madeira. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.